thought putting chunks of strawberry in here would be a good idea, but I think that was actually a bad idea because now they're just clogging the straw. Okay, wait, that was actually the best idea. It's like getting the little strawberry gummy bears. Hello, friends, and happy summer. This is my ultimate guide to everything we need to kick off summer. I feel like an infomercial. Do you want to create your very own beach-worthy snackle box? Pirate books galore, and the perfect summer rom-com for us Anne of Green Gables girlies. Ideas for your summer bucket list. Movies that feel like summer nostalgia, or like driving through the south of France with the ocean breeze on your face. Summer snack ideas. You want some summer TV shows to binge? Those are here as well. Okay, we're done with the infomercial. I do think we have all the bases covered. Let's get started with the 2024 summer rules. I'm going to the class of life this summer, and in classes you have rules, and I think they're a good way to help keep yourself accountable. These are my rules, so of course you can change these around, but maybe you can get some inspiration from mine. I highly encourage you to make your own summer rules. So my first rule for summer 2024 is to fix my circadian rhythm. Outside for 15 minutes every morning, preferably within 30 minutes of waking up, and watching the sunset every night, just to help my body know it's morning now and it's nighttime now. This past spring and winter, I was going to bed at 3 a.m., waking up at 10 it was a bad time. So we're fixing that this summer. Rule number 2 is outside, outside, outside. Everything outside as much as possible. Barefoot walks as much as possible. Grounding as much as possible. I really want the sunshine. I really want the fresh air. We live by the ocean, so we get that sea breeze. I want to be outside as much as possible. Rule number 3 is say yes more than saying no. If I get invited to go somewhere, if a neighbor is hosting a 4th of July party, 100% I'm an advocate for putting yourself first, your mental health, self-care, all of that. Sometimes we need to be at home, we need to be taking care of ourselves. But I also know that having community and being around people is so important for our health. Pushing myself to maybe go when I don't necessarily feel like it, I think in the long run I will thank myself, and then I'll have all of these fun summer memories to look back on. Rule number 4 is to play outside every single day for 30 minutes. That could be croquet. Me and Jared started playing croquet in the mornings, and I'm living my best Bridgerton life. It's so fun. It's actually really competitive. Or there was this game we used to play as kids it was like Velcro frisbee. But not frisbee. It was like a frisbee thing that you held on your hand and you threw the ball to the person, and it was Velcro and it would stick. We've also been playing that. It's so fun. I know we all know what we can do to play outside, but I'm just gonna give you a few more ideas. You can roll down hills, chalk art on the sidewalks in your driveway, bubble wands, jumping through sprinklers, dancing in the rain. Rule number 5 is create a summer reading list like the ones we had in elementary school and stick with it. I have to read every single book on the list by the end of the summer. And the books that I finish, I get to treat myself to a reward afterwards, like an ice cream cone or buying myself a cute new bookmark. Because in school we used to get, I don't know about you guys, but we would have these little tiny reward stations where we could get erasers. So I'm going to have a little, maybe even a box in my room of incentives that I can go to after I finish a book. I just think that would be so fun. This summer I'm really harnessing the nostalgia. So having a summer reading list is something I'm so excited to make. Rule number 6 is to tell myself that I look cute or pretty or beautiful or gorgeous at least once a day. Rule number 7 is that everything is for the plot. This is less of a rule and more of just a reminder. So when something happens or when I have a bad day, I tell myself this is for the plot, as if I'm watching a movie. The main characters always have a day where they feel like they're just having a bad day or they're unlucky. It happens to them and they keep going forward, and sometimes it's for the plot of the story. So I'm going to remind myself whenever anything happens, it is for the plot. And that goes for good things too. Rule number, 8? Is to go on a Lizzie Bennett or Anne Shirley walk every single day. The goal being 7,000 steps per day, preferably 10, but minimum 7. That's my personal goal. I feel so good when I get outside and walk. It's one of my favorite things ever, especially morning walks and sunset walks. Rule number 9, pictures of everything. It doesn't even have to be anything special. It could just be your breakfast or the book you're reading or how the sun is sparkling on the trees or the water outside, anything. Sometimes at the end of the summer, I see people's summer recap videos and feel so sad that I have like hardly any memories or photos to show for my summer. I would do things, but I wouldn't always document it. I want to document it just for me. I want to take pictures of every little bit of this summer and have all of this to look back on. The last and final rule, rule number 10, is mermaid hair. For me, this means embracing messy hair. Not messy, but I often straighten or curl it, but I do naturally have some texture and some waviness to it. So for me, this just means putting in some salt spray and letting it air dry and embracing that kind of put together messy look. Mermaid hair. And if I want to get fancy, I can braid in some seashells. I've also always wanted to try tinsel hair. I feel like all of that you can encompass in mermaid hair. There's also like these crimpers that I kind of did with my hair today that very much gives mermaid to me. So yeah, this is gonna kind of be my look for the summer. Moving on to things or items that will help us kick off the summer. You absolutely do not need these things by any means. These are just things that I personally like to have that really help me feel like summer is beginning. The first being popsicle molds. I've found some of these at thrift stores. You can get them on Amazon. I think these are so fun because you can come up with endless combinations. You can use yogurts or ice cream or juice spaces. The possibilities are endless and I think it's so fun. I personally love fruity ones or anything that's like watermelon, mint, and lime. That's the taste of my summer. And then something new that I'm going to be getting this summer is a disposable camera. You know, the really cheap ones you can get at the store that you have to take back to the store and then get the film printed and then you get them back. I want to decorate it, kind of bejewel it. I think that's a good option for when you specifically want to be present because sometimes we can get distracted with our phones and trying to get the lighting just right or taking a million photos, but with the disposable camera, you can just take one or two or three, but you don't want to run out of your film. I just think it'll be a really fun thing to carry around with me this summer. Have you guys heard of a snackle box? You heard me right. It's a tackle box, but it's for snacks. It's a snackle box. I did not come up with that, but you get a tackle box, like what your dad uses when he goes fishing, and you put snacks in it. All the snacks you could possibly want for a beach day or a reading picnic or a road trip or even on an airplane. I've seen people bring these on airplanes.
Every morning there's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's four-post bed. I know it's not mine, but I'll see if I can use it for the weekend or a one-night stand. I wouldn't understand how to work it out. Once again, as predicted, that my broken heart opened and you ripped it out. Something's got me reeling, stop me from believing, turn me around again. Said that we can do it, and now I wanna do it again.
Another thing that I think is so fun to make for yourself at the beginning of summer is oh my gosh, I can't talk. Seashell jewelry. Mermaid jewelry is so cool. I think it's kind of trending right now. If you get on Pinterest, you can see so many beautiful inspiration photos. I specifically like the mermaid pirate vibe of some of these seashell necklaces. I will for sure be making these. This is a little bit more expensive, but it's something I've always wanted, and it's one of the monogrammed LL Bean tote bags. You could probably make it yourself as well, but I love the style of the tote bag being really good to take to the beach. I can carry books and food and everything that I could need for a beach day. You can also find a lot of inspiration for this on Pinterest, a lot of cute little sayings and phrases you can put on it. If you have any recommendations for what I could put on mine, let me know in the comments. I'm not cool enough to have some of the phrases on those. And finally, in the things category is sundresses. No need to put together an outfit. It's all just there in the dress. I actually just got some amazing dresses from ThredUp, who is very kindly sponsoring this video, so thank you so much to ThredUp. Let me show you what I got. I haven't found the most perfect piratey shirt. ThredUp never misses. They have the best secondhand clothes. While I show you what I got, let me tell you a little bit more about ThredUp.
ThredUp is essentially a massive online thrift store. It's really like being able to look through thousands of thrift stores all in one place. It's my favorite place to shop for secondhand items, hands down. I never run out of items. I'm consistently favoriting things. I'm always adding them to my cart. My cart is pretty much always full. The possibilities truly feel endless with such a wide variety of styles from more than 55,000 brands, with new items being added every day. How I do it is I like to search for specific brands. For example, I love Reformation, Anthropology, and Free People, so I'll search for the brand and then narrow it down by looking for dresses, and if so, what color. I love that you're given the option to really narrow down what you're looking for.
This denim like pinafore dress, it has pockets, deep pocket. Like I can put seashells, drinks, my phone. I could probably even fit a mass market paperback book in there. This is the Reformation blouse. I can't believe I even own something by Reformation now. I feel so fancy. This is the Zara cardigan. I think this is so cute and dainty and elegant and feminine. So girly and it's so cute. This is that pirate blouse that I mentioned. It's originally from Kristy, which is a brand that I've always wanted to purchase from, but haven't because of the price tag. It's the pirate shirt of my dreams. Oh my gosh. I always find the best things on thredUP. We don't have any like boardwalks here, really, but if we did, I would wear this to walk on a boardwalk in the evening. Does it have any twirl to it? A little twirl, little baby twirl. Oh, this is so pretty. This color blue is one of my favorite colors to wear in the summer. I am already the biggest Simple Retro fan, so when I saw this on thredUP, I squealed a little bit. Feels very nautical with the cut and the collar. Don't mind me, I just have a bag for my bottle. I feel so cool. I think we all need bottle bags this summer.
I highly recommend checking out thredUP this summer. You can use my code Desi to get 45% off plus free shipping on your first order. Thank you again so much to thredUP for sponsoring this video.
It is not summer without summer book recommendations. These books, they encapsulate what summer feels like. I love reading during summer. Summer and autumn are tied for my favorite times of the year to read. With nature just being so lush and beautiful outside, I feel really inspired to read. This first one is like The Mummy meets Death on the Nile. It's a YA fantasy set in Egypt in the 19th century, and it is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. If I haven't convinced you already, these are the end papers in the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. This is a Fairy Loot edition that I'm holding right here, but I also have the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition because I love this book so much, and the end papers, they bring the characters to life. The story follows our female main character named Inez, who after hearing about the death of her parents while they were on an archaeological dig in Egypt, they mysteriously were found dead. So Inez travels to Egypt to figure out what might have happened, but there's romance, it's rivals to lovers. Pick this one up. It's so good. This next book is also historical. It is set in the 1930s in the Italian countryside. Look no further than Under a Dancing Star by Laura Wood. Laura Wood writes summer books that feel like The Great Gatsby meets I Capture the Castle. Her books are written in a way that kind of feels like I'm reading the main character's diary. The story follows Bee, who lives with her parents in England, and they are trying to marry her off, and she's not having it. She loves science and studying insects specifically. She would rather be rolling around outside in trousers, traipsing through meadows and watching tadpoles hatch than marrying anybody. But she gets the opportunity to go spend a golden summer in Italy, and she meets a handsome yet infuriating artist, and her life changes. They clash. She's science, he's art, but he teaches her about art and she teaches him about science, and it's so cute. This is also YA, very wholesome. If you are a whimsical fantasy girly, this recommendation is for you. This is Never by Jessa Hastings. This takes place in the world of Peter Pan. It follows Daphne Darling, who is descended from the Darling women, Wendy being the Wendy that we know from Peter Pan. Daphne's whole life she's been told Peter's gonna come for her, and on her birthday every year, she would leave the window open and hope that he would come, but year after year goes by and he doesn't come for her. She eventually gives up, but when she is 17, Peter arrives at her window and whisks Wendy off to Neverland, and that is where the story begins. And it is the most lush, beautiful, like if you want to read a book set on an island, so lush and atmospheric, you can feel the sun hitting your skin and the ocean breeze while you read this. Jessa Hastings' writing is so atmospheric. It penetrates you to the soul. While Daphne is in Neverland, we start to see this love triangle develop between her, Peter Pan, and Jameson Hook, who is Captain Hook's son. This was a 5-star read for me. One bit I loved is that when she gets to Neverland, the first thing that she runs into is baggage claim. And she's a little confused because she didn't bring anything with her. But Peter goes on to explain that this is where you drop off your baggage, mental baggage, emotional baggage, because when you enter Neverland, you don't want to be bogged down by all of that. You see her kind of go through in her head what she wants to drop off, what she thinks she should keep. I feel like Jessa Hastings really writes the human experience incredibly well. You might think I'm foolish for jumping out my window in the dead of night for a boy whose hair is as messy as his heart. But then, if you don't understand the lure and pull of the boy in question, I'm terribly sorry to inform you, but you've never met Peter Pan. So if you're looking for a fantastical, whimsical story that involves pirates, mermaids, fairies, Neverland, fairy dust, look no further than Never by Jessa Hastings. Oh, out of all of these books, this one is by far my favorite. Speaking of pirates, if you want a swashbuckling tale with sea creatures, pirate ships, and life out at sea, look no further than The Adventures of Amina Al-Sarafi by Shannon Chakraborty. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm not. This is a story for fans of Pirates of the Caribbean. It follows Amina Al-Sarafi, and she is one of the most notorious female pirates. She retired 10 years ago, but someone comes to her with a deal that she cannot refuse. So she heads out to get the gang back together for one last adventure, and let me tell you, it is quite the adventure. Everything and anything, it all happens in this book. I will say this book is a little bit slower than what I'm used to reading, which is not a bad thing, just a different thing. So if you're used to really fast-paced books, it might just be a tiny bit of an adjustment. The dialogue is incredible. I highly recommend the audiobook for this one. The narrators are incredible, and you're listening to the story as if Amina is writing it and reading it to you herself, as if she's like actually in the recording studio recording it, because occasionally she'll move the mic and her scribe will come in and he'll say, "Don't you think you shouldn't include that part? I feel like that's a little bit too much detail." And she's like, "This is my story. I feel like we should include it. I'm gonna do what I want to do." And then she comes back to the mic and talks to you. So that aspect was really cool. Highly recommend it. This is such a fun high seas pirate adventure story.
Somehow I cannot find the footage of me talking about this book, so voiceover Desi here to convince you to please read this. If you've ever dreamt of what summers would be like on Prince Edward Island, if you rewatch or reread Anne of Green Gables and you love a romance that feels so easy because they're best friends and they get each other like no one else does, and if you love happy endings, this is your summer romance. It's so good. I cannot recommend it enough. Add it to your beach read TBR for this summer. You will not be disappointed.
I want to include an honorable mention because I haven't finished this one yet. In fact, I'm only a couple chapters in, but I'm really enjoying it. It is The Sunken City by Emma V.R. Noyes. This is a YA pirate fantasy witchy book, and the love interests are inspired by the Salvatore brothers from Vampire Diaries, that's why I picked this up. It does read a little bit more juvenile, I think, maybe between middle grade and YA, but the vibes are there. It's about a girl raised on a pirate ship by the most dangerous men in the Caribbean. She wants nothing more than to just be a pirate, but she might be something more. Something that pirates despise. After a storm plunges their ship into the ocean, she wakes up in a kingdom that is under the water, and there she discovers that magic exists and she might just be magical. Again, I don't know if I'm going to fully love it. I haven't read that much of it yet, but it is definitely giving all the summer vibes that I could possibly want. I have very high hopes with this one. Now, what is summer without some good summer movies to watch, especially on the days when it's too hot to go outside? You just want to cozy up with a nice cool glass of lemonade. These are my summer movie recommendation. I'm just gonna kind of rapid fire these because I feel like we all kind of know about these. So I'm just gonna kind of focus on the aesthetics. Letters to Juliet takes place in Italy. There's pasta, there's letter writing, a road trip through the Italian countryside, a search for love. It is so cheesy and corny, but that is what I love about it. I do not know why, but the main guy in it gives me Von Trapp family vibes. Like, I feel like he should have been in the Von Trapp family singing. Like, I have no idea why. I don't know. But their chemistry is so, so good. If you love Amanda Seyfried in Mamma Mia, you will love her in Letters to Juliet. This is just the ultimate summer feel-good rom-com. This next movie is also set in Europe during summer. It is Monte Carlo. It follows 3 girls who go for their summer vacation after graduating high school. It stars Selena Gomez, Leighton Meester, and what's her name? Katie Cassidy, I think. This movie reminds me so much of the Disney Channel original movies that I'd watched. So fun and girly and summery. Get the south of France. It is actually so funny too. These girls book this awful hotel and they're having just really not a great time. When she gets mistaken for, I think she's like an heiress, and she ends up pretending to be this heiress, they get swept up into this world of money and wealth and celebrity, and indulge in this life that is very much not theirs, but they're gonna enjoy it while they have it. They each have their own romance, and the movie follows kind of each of their stories. So good for a girly sleepover night after a beach day. This next movie feels so summery. I don't know why it's not on more summer movie recommendation lists, and that is The Great Gatsby. I put this movie on all the time in the background if I'm cooking. It's so beautiful. Everything is so extravagant. The champagne, the pools, the estates, driving through the countryside in Gatsby's insane cars. Everything is just so beautiful. Like, you know how we watch Pride and Prejudice and Emma during the spring for the aesthetics? I watched The Great Gatsby during the summer for the same reason. I would watch this just for Leonardo DiCaprio alone. This next movie is one of my favorite movies of all time, and that is Rear Window, starring Jimmy Stewart and Grace Kelly. If you're like me and love Golden Age Hollywood, like Roman Holiday, that's another really good one to watch during summer. But I feel like Rear Window doesn't get enough recognition because it's an Alfred Hitchcock thriller, but it's also romance. It's set in a New York City apartment. I forget the character's name, but Jimmy Stewart's character has injured his leg and he's on bed rest for weeks. He can't leave his apartment. So he starts watching his neighbors. At first, he's just kind of observing them, but then it turns into something more serious when he notices one of his neighbors possibly dispose of his wife. One day she's there, the next day he sees his neighbor carrying something big, something very large out of his apartment, and the next day the wife is gone. If you've seen Disturbia with Shia LaBeouf, that is a modern remake of Rear Window. Disturbia is great, but I don't think it holds a candle to the classic. The suspense is so good. It's not super intense at all. I think anybody, even an entire family, could watch this. I imagine this next movie to be perfect if you've just come in from sunbathing or swimming. Frank Sinatra is playing and you've got your wet hair pulled up in a claw clip. You make some watermelon lemonade, settle down on the sofa, and turn on Magic in the Moonlight. This stars Colin Firth and Emma Stone. It's set in southern France. It follows Colin Firth's character as he goes to France to debunk this medium, Emma Stone, because he's a man of science. He doesn't believe in an afterlife, he doesn't believe in spirits, and Emma Stone's character is the complete opposite. Kind of has more of an air of innocence about her, but also very open-minded and just fun and quirky. And I think Colin Firth's character finds that refreshing, but at the same time, he is very determined to prove that she is a fake. The cinematography is incredible. Hands down, I want to live in this film. I didn't love the romance in it, but I watched this more for the vibes. This is a vibes movie. Moving on to TV shows. This first show isn't set during the summer, but I think it is the show of the summer, and that is Maxton Hall. If you have not watched this yet, what are you doing? This show is for the book girlies. It's for the enemies to lovers girlies. The romance is So good. The chemistry. So this is a German TV show based on a book. It's your typical kind of like rich, like filthy rich bad boy. And then the girl who got on scholarship to go to this incredibly posh school, has straight A's and is trying to get into Oxford. They get put on the same committee to work together. The room is burning on fire because of the chemistry, but they hate each other. There's English dub version, but I watch the German version because I just feel like their voices fit the actors really well. It's so good. If you want peak summer treasure hunting, North Carolina, you see where this is going, Outer Banks is what you're gonna watch. This TV show is summer in TV show form. For me, they're like, I don't know, I struggle to find really good summery TV shows that I really enjoy, but I feel like Outer Banks is so good. It's fast paced, the vibes are all there. The setting in Outer Banks in North Carolina is just beautiful. Everything about it is what I imagine summer to be like. You know how we watch Gilmore Girls during fall? It's that comfort show that we put on and we just enjoy and we watch it every fall. Gilmore Girls to autumn is H2O just add water to summer. I don't like it to be too quiet in the house, especially because it's just me and Jared. So a lot of time I'll just like wake up and then put on H2O just add water in the background so that when I'm making breakfast or playing with the fur babies or making my matcha, I have it on in the background and it's so cute and summery. This reminds me of my childhood when I would play mermaids with my sisters. The show is set in Australia. It follows these young girls who become mermaids. And that's literally it. It's so good. This is another show for me that's like, I watch it for the vibes. It is so cheesy, but that is what I love about it. I want that summer cheese. That sounds kind of funny. I want that. This is for those of us who still play mermaids as adults. This show is ours. Add it to your list this summer. Now let's talk about summer bucket lists and activities that you can add to your bucket list or just some general inspiration for fun things to do this summer. The first activity being making strawberry milk with fresh strawberries. June is strawberry season. This is when the strawberries are their sweetest, and you can use strawberry milk so many different ways. You can add it to lattes. I add it to matcha. You can drink it plain. You can make strawberry milk ice cubes. And then you can even try to perfect like a latte recipe or a strawberry matcha recipe. Next is pickleball, croquet, or badminton. Any of these three, I don't think they need any other further explanation. You could add tennis as well. I think these are just such fun summery sports to enjoy. Not too serious, just a good fun time. And we kind of already covered this one, but making a snackle box for a beach day or a road trip, you could theme it. You could have it be really healthy, or you could do all sorts of different candies or treats. You could do it adult lunchbox style where you do meats, cheeses, crackers. I also think it would be so fun to decorate it with stickers or paint. Maybe not paint, maybe stickers. Next is to eat local seafood by the water. For me, we have this lobster roll, little family run joint a few miles down the road. It's situated right on the ocean and it is packed all the time, but we've never been there. So I really want to go enjoy some fresh local seafood and eat it while I'm at the beach. I'm so excited for that. Next is to make a raspberry cordial. This is inspired by my girl Anne Shirley from Anne of Green Gables. Summer is all about the drinks. I want to make all the different drinks this summer. Next is to set up a hammock, make some iced tea, and read a summer rom-com. The best is if you do this if it's just a perfectly sunny, warm day and you could be out there lost in your book for hours. That is the best feeling. Next, you can collect seashells and use them for a craft day. I would turn on H2O, just add water, get my craft set up, get in a cute sundress or swimsuit if I'm doing it outside, because then I could go run through the sprinkler between. I like to really theme my days. I like to have fun events, and I could make these as gifts for friends. You could do maybe even like a seashell charm necklace. Next activity is to attend a county or state fair. These are so fun. I feel like here in the US, we have the best fairs. The vibe is just electric. all of the people. It always makes me think of the 4th of July, all the different food. I think it would be so fun to plan it with friends, to dress up maybe in like cowboy boots and summery t-shirts. I don't know. I really want to do that this summer. Ooh, another one that I'm really excited to add to my summer bucket list is to celebrate the summer solstice or midsummer, like a Swedish inspired midsummer celebration. Strawberry cake, flower crowns, wreaths. I also heard this tradition, correct me if I'm wrong, but on midsummer, you would pick 7 different types of flowers, wildflowers. You put them under your pillow that night on the summer solstice and you'll dream of your heart's desire. I will be doing that this year. This next one I kind of already touched on with the seashell jewelry, but you could make charm necklaces or friendship bracelets with your friends or your siblings. Another activity is to go on a date with the sunset. So this is a solo date, just you and the sunset. You can bring a blanket and observe the changes in the temperature, but also in the sky, in the clouds, in the colors, and you can thank the sun for giving you another beautiful summer day. Just kind of use it as a time to reflect. Another thing you can do is to taste test ice cream from different ice cream joints in your town or towns over. We did this a lot last summer and it was really fun. We had a rating system. We would try one and rate it 1 to 10. 10 being we would absolutely go back, it's like a new favorite, and 1 being we would never go back or recommend it. You can judge things based on taste, texture of the ice cream, the soft serve, whether it's more like frothy and like whipped creamy, or if it's the dense soft serve, which is my personal favorite. Another really fun and simple idea is to go to the park and fly kites. If you want to be crafty, you can even make your own kite and decorate it. Another activity that I have already done and I love it and will be doing it for the rest of the summer is to pack yourself an adult Lunchable and then go cloud gaze or go to the beach or go to a park, take yourself on a picnic. It's the nostalgia. I just think it's such a fun way to romanticize a little thing like having a meal. Moving on to summer snacks. This might sound a little bit weird, but I think a lot of people in the comments will agree with me that it is delicious, and it is watermelon with mint, feta, and lime. I might lose you at the feta, but hear me out. The feta cheese mixed with the tangy sourness of the lime, with the sweetness of the watermelon, and then the mint, all the flavors. It is just a party in your mouth. It is so good. Oh my gosh, I'm not describing it well. Please try it. Because June is strawberry season, I think we all must have some strawberries and cream. Such a simple yet delicious dessert. I made this last summer in one of my videos. You can make candy salad. You can mix together all of your favorite candies into a bowl and have candy salad. And along with that, you could try different flavorings on popcorn. You can get salt and vinegar seasoning and have salt and vinegar popcorn, which is one of my personal favorites. I used to work at a movie theater, and one thing I saw the employees doing, and now I do, is to eat popcorn with jalapenos, or you can dip the popcorn in nacho cheese. If you want more popcorn combinations, let me know. I will put it in the description box. I hope you guys are as excited about summer as I am. I truly love this season. I want to relish it as much as I can, even on the days when it's really hot, or even on the days when I have so much to do. I hope that I could inspire you to add some things to your bucket list, or some movies to watch, or some books to read. Definitely try the Snackle Box. It is life-changing. But I love you guys. Thank you again so much to ThredUp for sponsoring this video. Again, the link will be down in my description box. I wish you nothing but love and happiness and adventures and memories for this summer, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, friends.